Hey everybody, it's Becky with the Sweet Tea Shed. It's been a way long time since I have posted anything to YouTube or made a video. I just did a live over at the Sweet Tea Shed and I made an adorable crate. So I thought I would make another, just a plain video, not a live, and post it to my YouTube channel so you guys can see too. So this isn't anything new, no rocket science here, but they're just so adorable and cute to make, and I just wanted to put it out there. Again, it's been a long time since I've been able to post. So again, we just made one and I'm going to make another one. So these are just the little crates that you can buy at any of your Hobby Lobbies, Michael's, wherever you get your stuff at. And I just brought it home and I painted it white with chalk paint. So you can use Waverly, whatever chalk paint you use. This happens to be the Kills chalk paint, but you can sure use whatever you would normally use. So I've got a coat of chalk paint on here, and then I also put a coat of Mod Podge on it, and I let it dry overnight. So first you paint it, let it dry completely, then you put your Mod Podge on it and let it dry completely, because we're doing the iron-on method. So the iron-on method is way cool because you won't get any wrinkles. And so if you're not familiar with the iron-on method, I will show you all about it. So, and then we're also going to use, these are just half beads, just the half wooden beads, and you could stain them if you wanted to. I chose not to, but we'll see what they look like after I am done. But I chose not to stain them, and we're going to glue these on the bottom of our little crate when we're done, just to give it a little bit of lift, and it'll just be super cute that way. So my first one I made, I used this pretty napkin, and I used square wooden legs, I don't know, for the bottom, and I had spray painted them gold, and I used this beautiful napkin. And for this one, we're going to use this lovely napkin and use pretty much the same process as we used on that one. So I don't know, this will probably take 15-20 minutes, so you can watch the whole thing or you can skip through, whatever you want to do, because I know how that goes. Alrighty, so this is just a napkin, and just a plug for my napkin sales, I do have a napkin sale group. It's called Bottle Creek Napkin Sales. It's on Facebook, and I have thousands of napkins for sale. So if you're interested, if you are a napkin user for crafting or for collecting, I'd encourage you to go check it out, Bottle Creek Napkin Sales. So I'm going to separate the plies. So the way I do it, everybody does it different, is I just take a little bit of Mod Podge and I put it on my finger, kind of smush it all together, and then I grab the corner of my napkin and I just go boop, and it pulls it right apart, just like that. And if you have 3 plies, you can just do it again and it pulls it right apart. I was actually able to get both plies, so I only have the top ply, right? And when you're Mod Podging, you only want to use the top ply. If you don't, you're going to get bubbles, and you're just going to be really frustrated. You're not going to be able to get it out, the bubbles. You have to only use that top ply if you're wanting that flat look to it. So that's what we want. Okay, so for this particular crate, this obviously is well, maybe not obviously, but this is a lunch size napkin. It's lunch size, and I am actually going to take it, I'm going to cut it in half. So I'm not actually going to use scissors. I use what's called a water brush, and it's actually just a little plastic brush that has a little brush on the end, and you fill it with water, and it just gives you a constant flow of water. I like using this better than scissors. So if you're a scissor girl, guy, use your scissors. I just like using the water pen, and you just go right across it, and then it just pulls right apart. Except for that piece. Oops, hang on. I must have not had enough water on my brush there. Pulls it right apart. See? So easy. And then you get this really pretty, I call it wispy, but I think the real word is called dapple effect. So if you're using this on some craft, that dappling makes it just kind of melt right into whatever the project that you're working on, and it doesn't give you that hard line, right? It gives you a real soft, it kind of just fades right into your project. So that's what I'm going to do. So I've got this one, and I'm going to cut it in half again. So I only use one of the 4 panels right now. So just take my water brush, go across it, and then just pull it apart. Boop, that easy. I'm just setting my napkin over there that I'm not using. So then what I'm going to do, now I'm not nervous at all, at all. But when I spray painted the inside of this, I got a little spray paint on the outside. So I may have to use a little Mod Podge to clean that up. But I'll just stop for a second and let you guys know that since I'm doing Thanksgiving, because these are Thanksgiving crates that I'm getting ready for some stuff, I wanted the inside to be gold. So I happen to use this Rust-Oleum Metallic Gold. It's called Gold. You could use any color. You could leave them, they come just raw wood. You could leave it that way. You could, you know, black, yellow, green, orange, whatever color you'd want on the inside. But this is what I used for the inside of these. Really nice and shiny. Shiny like your honey. So, all right, so I have 1/4 of that lunch size napkin that I'm going to use. Now, if you follow other crafters, which I am sure that you do because I am just a newbie, people do things differently. So this is how I do it. Okay, so we're doing the iron-on method. So I actually have my crafting irons in the house. Hang on, let me grab my iron. So I actually just have my old granny iron. I call it old granny iron, just your old iron that you would iron clothes with, but I don't iron clothes, so what else am I gonna use it for? And then I also have a piece of parchment paper. So you'll need an iron for the iron-on method, and you'll need a piece of parchment paper. Actually parchment paper that you bake your cookies on. So voila, just a piece of parchment paper. Now you could cut it in half, you could cut it in fours. This is kind of big, but this is what I grabbed, so that's what I'm using. I always say use what you got, so I could cut that in half if I wanted to. All right, so here we go. I am going to, because I love this burgundy, that burgundy color. So I want him on the top of my crate. So if you can see, I know it's kind of backwards, but I got my crate there. I've got Mod Podges dry on it, and I'm just gonna lay my napkin right where I want it to start at. So kind of up here. And kind of smooth it out a little bit with my hand, right? You see, I'm holding it down with my hand. Then I'm gonna grab my parchment paper and put it on top. And I'm actually gonna take my other hand. I know this sounds silly, but I just wanna give you step by step, right? Take my other hand and place it on top, and then I remove my other hand. That way, my napkin stays flat and it's good. It doesn't go anywhere. Grab your iron. Obviously, irons are hot, so be careful. And then I'm just going to slowly move my iron across my project, whatever I'm working on. What's happening is that Mod Podge has dried, so you're heating that Mod Podge up, and it's grabbing that napkin and it's adhering it back down to my mini crate or whatever you're working on, and it will leave you with no wrinkles. So, yay! So you're just gonna take off your parchment paper, and voila! Look at there, it's stuck on there. Right? How cute is that? And look, no wrinkles. Goober cute. Goober cute. Now you see I got this little flap down here. Again, this is 1/4 of a lunch size napkin. And I'm able just to take it, because you don't have to decorate your bottom, but I'm gonna decorate my bottom. The bottom of my crate. And you can see it's gonna fit perfect, right? It's gonna fit perfect on there. So just pulling it down a little bit with my hand. Exact same process. Grab my parchment paper, put on top, grab my iron, and just go right across it. And you do not want any steam. You just want a plain old dry iron, go across it. I'm going kind of slow. You don't have to go back and forth. Don't be rough with it. Doesn't take much to melt that Mod Podge. Whoops. Just knocked over my glue gun a little bit. And voila. There she is. Look at that. Way cute, right? So we've already got 2 sides done. And I am going to do both of my sides as well as this side. So we're going to have all of our sides covered. Some people don't do the ends. You do. It's your project. You do how you want to do it. But I'm just showing you the iron-on method and this adorable little crate. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab another one of these little panels. So I got these 2 and I've got this one. So I'm going to grab this one. And if I do this right, if I don't mess up any, I will have enough to do the sides, both sides, and the back or front, whatever you want to call that. But I'll have enough to do all 3 of these yet. So I should be able to get that out of just the 2 panels, which would leave me 2 more panels to either make another crate or just to set aside and use for some other craft, because these are adorable. Adorable. Again, Bottle Creek Napkin Sales is the name of my napkin sale business. So if you're interested in this napkin, I do have it for sale. Okay, So now, so before I go and put this one on though, you can see I've got a little extra here and I want to get rid of that. I don't want that on there. I want to get rid of that so I have a clean slate when I put that on. This is way cool. If you don't use either a emery board or a sanding block or something to get your excess napkin off, I would really encourage you to do it because it's going to get up close and personal to this box and it's going to take it right off. So you can see I'm just using my nail file here and going across it, and you'll see it'll take it right off of there. And look at that. Look how cute that, I mean, it's just right up there. You could not do that with scissors. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of this too and just get this excess napkin off and get my crate all prepared for when I do put on the ends and the back side there. Again, just goober easy. Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. Sorry, I kind of cracked myself up. I got mom jokes all day long. All right, there we go. And she's taking that off. If it's kind of difficult, just grab your file and just go over it again. It just means that you didn't get it filed very well. So see there? Look at that. It's all done. It's the exact same process that I used on this one here. I did the same thing on this one here. So cute. I got a little bit up top here. See, I got a little bit up top. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off too. Voila. Goober cute. Goober cute. Okay, so now I'm going to take this little guy and I'm going to do this side first, and then I hope to have enough to do either side. If I don't have enough, I'll just use some of this napkin. But if I do it right, I should have enough to get the sides done by just using these two napkins. So we'll see. We'll see how good I do here. All right, again, I got my napkin placed where I want it. I'm grabbing my parchment paper, putting it on top. Exact same process. Grab my old iron and going across it. I've got my iron set on medium high, closer to high probably. And again, no steam, just heat is all you want. If you have a crafting iron, those work really well because these are mini crates. But mine, like I said, is in the house, so we're just using the iron that I had out here. I used this iron for months and months and months before I ever even bought a mini iron. And let me tell you, the mini irons are really nice, so if you would like to get one, they are nice, but it's the same thing, so don't think you have to go out and get a mini iron, because you don't. Voila! Way cute, way cute. Let it cool just a second. I want to let it cool and let that glue kind of be sure it's attached before I use this. If it's still kind of wet, it's never wet, but if it's still, I don't know, you could maybe pull the napkin with if the Mod Podge is kind of wet, if that makes sense. So just kind of letting it dry a little bit. It's good. So I'm just taking my file and going along and cutting that napkin. I'll go along all of it. It's just so satisfying to do this too, because it's just so goober cute when it's done. Way cute. And hopefully this bottom part will be enough to go on each one of my ends, if I cut it right. Especially if you're a newbie, sometimes you don't cut right, or you're not right, you know, you might mess up or something. And boys and girls, let me tell you, I have messed up plenty of time. We'll see if I messed up here. I don't know. Time will tell here in just a minute. And it's okay, it's just a napkin. And let me tell you, I'm a napkinaholic, but it really is just a napkin. So it looks to me like I'm gonna have enough. See, I've got a little over half of that napkin left. So I know I'm not gonna use these little legs here, arms, whatever, little extra pieces. So I'm just gonna tear those off. So that leaves me this little guy, right? So hopefully he'll fit here, and then I'll have enough on this side to fit over here on this end. So I know it gets really close. I mean, it's very, very close. So I'm gonna have to get as close to the edge as I can with this, because I'm not gonna have a lot of extra. And again, it's not a huge thing if I don't. I've got 2 whole panels here, but I hate to use it if I don't have to. So I can use it for something else. Because some napkins you may only have 1 or 2 of, right? I mean, I get it. Before I started selling napkins, I might only have 1 or 2 of a napkin that I either purchased or I swapped with or something. So I didn't want to screw up if I could help it. So I get it. So just kind of have to be cautious of how you cut your napkin and such, but it'll all work out just fine. So see, another side done, and no wrinkles. Goober cute. I think that light's too bright. Goober cute. But this is so autumn-ish looking, right? Looks like autumn. And I am not ready for autumn, so don't be thinking that's what I'm thinking, because I am 100% a summer kind of girl. Again, kind of just letting this cool just a little bit. But yeah, I'm a summer girl, but I needed to get some of these done, so I'm out here making some autumn and fall stuff. All right, just taking my file, doing the exact same process. Boop, 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 boop. Again, if you're not doing this and you're a crafter, you know, if you're a beginner, I've been crafting for about 1.5 years, and I love working with new crafters, and because I still consider myself a newbie, and so yeah. Not that I can answer every question, but if you got any questions, I'd be happy to answer, so you can just message me or whatever. But voila, there you go. Okay, here comes the test. Let's see, I think I will. I think I'll have enough. It looks like I'm gonna have enough, so let's see if I got enough here to fit. I do. As a matter of fact, this is the way it should go. Oh. High five. High five. Yep. Just barely enough. So, yeah. That's okay though. It worked out perfect. So again, just take your iron, go over it. And you can see it's not taking me long. It doesn't take long. I don't know, 5, 6, 7 seconds. I don't know. It don't take long to do it. And it sticks right on there. Boop, 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 boop. So cute. So we're gonna let this little guy dry a little bit. I'm gonna set my iron on the ground so I don't hit it, because I'm done with my iron. And I certainly don't want to hit my arm on my iron, because we know what that would mean. Okay, so while we're waiting for that to dry, look, I see a little piece here I need to cut off. Or not dry, but while I was just waiting for that to cool off a little bit, you can see on here that this is actual looking like a mini little crate, and you can see I'm kind of pressing on it, and I'm indenting that a little bit, right? You can leave it just like that. If that's the look that you're going for, you can leave it just like that. Now this one, as you can see, I actually cut out the crate part, right? I cut that out, and I'm gonna cut it out here too, so you can see how I do it. You don't have to do it. You can leave it if you want to. It's up to you. It's your project. You do what you want to do. So the way I do it, you can use the burn method if you want to. I'm not using the burn method today on this. I'm actually just going to use this fingernail file, which is a little bit too fat. Even though it's very thin, it's still fatter than the width of these slots. So I'm going to show you my kind of workaround. If you had one of those metal fingernail files, that would probably work a little bit better, but you can do it this way. This isn't going to hurt anything. So I'd say either grab a really sharp knife, or I'm just going to use my thumbnail, and you're just going to go in and you're just going to actually go down there, and you're down it and just cut it like that. See there? Just cut it with my fingernail. Same thing with this one. Boop. Cut that one too. Then we're going to go over here, same thing. Just using my nail and going down it and just cutting those. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this real quick. Again, you could use a sanding block if you got a sanding block. They all work the same. Sandpaper, whatever you might got. And get that right off of there. Doo-doo. Okay, so I'm going to stand up here. So you can see I used my thumb, but you can see some of the napkin in there, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this file. Again, it's too fat to fit in there, so I'm just going to use the edge of it. So I'm going to grab it, and see I just kind of put the edge up in there, and I'm just going to work back and forth a little bit. And the same process, it's the same theory here. I'm just cutting that napkin, and then I'm going to do the top part, and then I'm going to do this top little slat as well. Okay, all right, so I loosened those all up pretty well, and then I have just this brush that I have. You could use any kind of brush. I like this one because it's a little bit I don't know, it's a little bit harder, I guess, And you're not going to use a lot of force, but you are going to take it, you're just going to kind of brush along it, and it's going to pop that, clean that right up for you for the most part. See there? It's cleaning it right up for me. Voila. Way cute. Okay? Same thing with this. I'm going to take my file, and I'm just going to take it and kind of go back and forth a little bit. I'm not going to do it real hard, just a little bit. Just kind of try to get that cleaned up a little bit. Same thing to the bottom side here. And take my brush and go along it. Cleans it right up. So cute, so easy, right? Now this bottom one, this one, the slats are further apart. I can just push my finger on it. And, right? Those are further apart than what the slats are on this side. I'm gonna do the same thing. Take this, just kind of go back and forth a little bit with it. Trying to cut that napkin. After all, it's just a piece of paper, a napkin, right? Paper napkin. Doesn't take a whole lot. Take my brush and cut them right out. I can still see some of it in there. So this though, this will fit in these slots. See, those will go right in that one. So you can take this and actually just go down. Don't go back and forth, you'll pull that napkin. So if you just push down with it, it'll cut that napkin for you, just like it did on the edges. But again, don't go back and forth with it. You want to just go straight down with it in that file, sandpaper, whatever you're using, will cut that napkin right out for you. So let me grab it here. See there? Takes it right out for you. So it takes a little finagling. It's nothing hard, but it takes a little finagling to do. See there? Pretty easy. This is really easy. If you're making Christmas gifts or you want to make Christmas gifts, this is a perfect little thing. You can use any kind of napkin that you would want to. So you could do this. I've got these all over my house. I sell these things like crazy. Yeah, so, but they're great little gifts as well. You can even put candies in them, put some cellophane around it. You can put a little succulent in it. But there you go. So there you go. Look at that. How adorable. Seriously, how cute is that? Way cute. Way cute. Yeah. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to take my half beads and I'm going to glue them. Let go, buddy. Glue those on all four corners here. And I'm just using my hot glue gun to do that. So you could use, you know, whatever kind of glue. If you have wood glue or obviously this works just fine as well. You can use hot glue, Gorilla Glue, whatever you got. I always say use what you got. And like I said, you could stain these little half beads or you could certainly paint them as I did the other ones that I did on that other little crate. I painted them gold. But I kind of like these raw and unpainted. Look at that. I know it's kind of hard to see. That's really hard to see. I wish I had something to set it on so that you could see. But this is what it looks like. How cute is that? Way cute. Way cute. Yeah. So I've got this one that I did that's got the little gold square, they're not beads, they're little square blocks on the bottom. And then this one that's got the half beads on the bottom. So just to give you a different, they're the exact same, but you can see that the blocks are a little bit taller than, so really cute. But see, they kind of work together, don't you think? So cute, so cute. Thanks for watching. Keep sharing the Sweet Tea Shed and Bottle Creek napkin sales. And yeah, hopefully I'll be doing more tutorials and I'll be doing more lives over at the the Sweet Tea Shed, as well as Bottle Creek napkin sales. So anyways, enough about all that. You guys take care. I hope you enjoy. So the final thing, I will let this sit and dry really good. Then I seal it with Krylon triple thick crystal clear glaze. This is what I seal them with. And when they're sealed and they're done, they'll be real shiny like this. So what I will do is I will put on a a real light coat of this. See how shiny that is? I'll put on a real light coat of it, and then what I'll do is let that dry completely. Doesn't take long. I'll put a second coat on it, dry completely, and then I put a third coat. I always do 3 coats just because that's what I do. That's just what I do. I like to put 3 coats on it to make it nice and pretty and shiny and to protect that napkin. So that's how I seal mine. Now, you want to put just a real light spray that first time because paper napkins, right? So if you put on a real heavy spray, you do it real close, that's gonna ball up. It's gonna wrinkle up for you. It's gonna give you that wrinkly look, which nobody likes. But if you do, let it set for like overnight, if you can, or at least 5 hours. I don't know. Just let it set for a while till it dries really good. That glue dries really good. Then do just a real light spray. This is just 101. This is the way I do it. I've ruined plenty, but this works for me. Hopefully it will work for you. I put a real light spray on it, you know, from a distance. Do it outside because it's pretty strong. Let that dry completely. Come back after it's dry, do another coat, maybe a little bit thicker. Let that dry completely, and then that third coat, you can seal it really well. And then let that all dry, and then you're gonna get this real pretty shine. And you can see I don't have any wrinkles in it. But again, it's taken me a lot of practice, and it's taken me a lot of failures before I got to where I thought they looked okay. So don't get frustrated. Just keep on trying. Keep on trying if you're new, and reach out if you have any questions or if you want any napkins. All right, you guys take care. That's what I use. That's what I sprayed it with. But how cute. How cute. Thanks, guys. Bye, everybody.